Welcome to the Yoruba Torah Research Institute. Let's go through. Welcome inside.
Láti wá tún ayé tó ti bàjẹ́ ṣe, wo bó ṣe dé tó ń darí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jí ní lọ bíbá o, wo bó ṣe dé tó ń ṣàánú gbogbo ẹ̀dá pátá. Ibikíbi tó ń lọ ló ti ṣàánú, ó débi ó gbà àánú wọlé. Ó débi ó gbà àánú wọlé o. Èrò tó ń lọ lọ́nà ẹ gbà àánú Olúwa. Aláìsàn ẹ gbà àlàáfíà o. Alára tí ò pé ẹ gbára pípé. Aláìsàn ẹ dìde gbé àkéte. Ìyédè kí gbogbo orí tó ń tẹríba. Ìyédè kí gbogbo ọkàn kó wárí. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ kí gbogbo òkùnkùn kó tẹríba o. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ ẹni tó ń bẹ nínú òkùnkùn ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ ẹni tó ń bẹ nínú òkùnkùn ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ lè yege. Ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ lè yè. Ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ káyé yín lè di ọ̀tun. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé gbogbo ẹ̀dá tí ń bẹ nínú òkùnkùn ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé ẹ̀dá tí ń bẹ nínú òkùnkùn ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Gbogbo ọkùnrin ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Gbogbo obìnrin ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé ẹ wá rìn mọ́lẹ̀ o.
Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé, ẹ wá rí ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé, ẹ wá rí ìmọ́lẹ̀. Why would you walk in the darkness? He is here now. Why would you stay in the darkness? He's here for you. Oh, the light of Jesus is shining bright now. The light of Jesus is shining bright now. Come for free salvation. He has paid for your salvation. Why would you walk in the darkness? He is here for you. Why would you stay in the darkness? He is here for you. Jesus is the way, is the light, is the truth, is alive, is everything you've been looking for. Why are you looking for more? He's everything you need. Come for free salvation. He has paid for your salvation. Why would you walk in the darkness? He is here for you.
can see the message there is talking about the light. So just of all the way I've been saying. So this Yoruba Torah Research Project, this work is about the light, it's about the revelation that the Lord has brought out, which is the truth, which is what is hidden. So many historians have made us to believe that the true ancient Hebrew language is lost. No one is speaking it again, and then actually they actually want to justify the reason for the modern Hebrew that was developed years almost more than 200 years ago. So they establish that story, they make it robust, they do everything about it, and but one of the things that I challenge is that why do you have to base your lettering on Aramaic when you know you are Hebrew and then you want to do modern Hebrew? Then why base your lettering on Aramaic lettering? Why not use the ancient Hebrew lettering? Well, but in these times, and we have every science up and down with all the strifes and going on in the world that shows that we're in the last days. But the Lord has decided to reveal these truths, this revelation, reveal this truth that this Yoruba that is actually being spoken is actually the ancient Hebrew language, and the Torah revelation is coming out in Yoruba language, and the Yoruba coming out are actually standard perfect with perfect Yoruba Yoruba words with perfect understanding. The Yoruba words from the Torah are even correct, are even more correct to hearing than what we are speaking. So you can even see that you speak a word from the Torah and say, this is the true that, and well, we have an object that we have a name for, that we think this is the name, this is Yoruba name. But that's what we call, but we can't really explain why they call it that name. But by the time we listen to the name of that particular object or thing from the Torah, we now see, well, the Yoruba comment and we say, yeah, this is true, this is the real name. Because that name fits the characteristics of what the object matter. Now, for example, in our so I think let's just start. Now, for example, you can see in our logo, and this in our work here, in our logo, you see this, this. You see, that is the eagle. Let me enlarge it. Now you can see that eagle. See this eagle in Yoruba that we speak today, they call it Idi. We can't really understand why they call it Idi. But from the words coming from the Torah, it is Asha'ara, that is something that lacerates the flesh. It's a Shi'ar, and it means to lacerate the flesh, which is actually the way eagle eat, feed, attack, lacerate, tear flesh. That is flesh eater, flesh tearer, which is Asha'ara, someone that lacerates the flesh. Now you can see that name Asha'ara, and the definition of the name is a perfect Yoruba word for eagle. That even the one they call it, we can't even understand. But when you hear Ashara, yeah, that is eagle. That's what eagle does. And actually, in these days, there's a bird that Yoruba call Asha. But we don't really know. But actually, it is actually the one we call Asha today is actually auk. Although auk too tear flesh, but not like the eagle, which is actually the true Ashara. So I'll probably say that when they first came, now remember when they first came in the Torah, it is Ashara. When they came to West Africa too, they must have seen the eagles too. The way, of course, when they came to Africa when everything was still a kind of big forest, there will be a lot of eagles around. So maybe later when the eagles, after hunting down a lot of them and encroach on the forest, so the eagle have to go. So the remaining birds are the hawk that can still stay around, that can still manage and stay around men. So they give the name for the name for eagle, which is Ashara. They just impose the name on the hawk, which also eats flesh, which also feed on flesh. But the hawk does not really attack human being. That cannot really be called attack human being or attack big animals or the small animal. But the real Ashara, that is the real Asha'ara, is the eagle. Eagle can attack human being. Eagle can attack big animals, tearing their flesh. So you can see. So these are the things that are coming out from the Torah, which is what which give us, which actually shows to us that the Yoruba from the Torah is actually perfect. The perfect Yoruba, that is actually the source of the Yoruba, the perfect dictionary of Yoruba history. So it's part of Yoruba history, Yoruba war, how the way it was being spoken then. So and the way it was used in Moses' writing, that is Yoruba language, and then the way it was used again by the modern writer, those are wrote later, like the Psalm, the time of David, and then even the time of the apostles. So you can see we can trace how the language how the language has changed developed from the beginning, from the time of Moses down to the time of the apostles, by the Yoruba words that are coming out from all from the Torah all together. So in this today we are actually the last teaching we look at the origin of black people of West Africa, revealed Israel to Africa. So and actually we've already seen Israel to Africa, and the last thing we talk about is how the Islam people, how the Islam enter into West Africa, and how Shango, the one that's been worshipped today, I don't know why they worship the one that brought destruction upon them. So actually, but the fact is that God, Oyoiwa, was angry with his people because of idolatry, so he allowed they brought in destruction upon themselves. So and even in the Torah, in the book of Isaiah, it was said that they are going to attack each other. Israel will attack each other. The tribes will fight against each other. They will help to destroy themselves. So you can see that happen. And when they came to West Africa, thinking that they have escaped, but the destruction, still the word, the curse of the law still followed them. They destroyed themselves. They brought in destruction, Islam upon themselves, and then Islam started changing government. We have the Shanghai, we have the all the other dynasty, Islamic dynasty, until the Fula, which is the Fulani. Also, lastly, the Sonautu came over. But so we just want to stop there for now, because after that, after some years, Oromio, which is a descendant from Odu Enua is a descendant of Odu Enua, from which that was destroyed by Shango. So it's a descendant. So he came back. So he came back to actually take over the government. When Shango died, the Fulani and whatsoever, they could not actually finish their plan to take over the West Africa. So they had to stay. They maintain those places they've already taken, and then and all the nurses, were just changing like that. So, and it was later after then that Oromio now came back. So the people, the Omo, like those that came with Inoa, which are the Hebrews. Actually, they were still in West Africa. About when some of them have gone to the Americas. So you can see that they are the one that discovered America around 1000 AD, and they are the one that started going there just the way they used to come to Africa. The way they used to come to Africa while they were away in Yemen. So they started visiting America, but during the war of Shango, some of them fled to that seat they established there, but the remaining they stayed back since the Fulani, after the death of Shango, the demise of Shango, the disgraceful demise and kind of destruction. Because actually Oyoiwa has everly promised that it will not destroy Oya Shuriala, will never destroy the house of Oya Ikoibi, that is, it will not destroy Jacob. He will always give me a remnant. So the Lord allowed Shango to make a kind of defeat, and the Fulani went back. So the Islamic army, and so they went back, and because the only strength that they have against these people is just that the ability to that device, the bomb, which is the explosive, and when the explosive, which you call Edunara, has now been put to no effect and has been made not to be able to work again, so they have to just fall. So they fell back, and So the people stayed back and occupied the remaining land. So you can see that. That is one of the reasons why I said that most of the Yorubas and those related to them are majorly towards the south. And when Oromio came back, he started the war. He started the war actually to retain back, to recover the old kingdom, to reunite the old kingdom. So he started the war. And before he came back, of course, those people that stayed back, they already have leaders. They already have leaders. They've already shared the remaining lands and managing themselves. But when he came back to take over, so he has to, a lot of those people that are ruling have to move away. So he went to, so he moved around. He actually moved around. He came to Ife. He went to Bini, because those are all his people. Those are the people. They were actually under the kingdom before Islam after took over. So he went to all those places that they could get to. So he kind of united all those places under himself. So he was able to rule, and then he crossed over to the north part of Nigeria. Also, there we have all this Igala and everything. So he was able to unite, and from there, they actually, because before Islam came, they were supposed, and before Shango was stupid enough to let the Islamic army in to fill up their agenda in West Africa, they were supposed to unitedly go back to West Africa to go back to the Yemen and take over the land there, and then back to Jerusalem, so that they can take over this land and establish and take over the promised land. So immediately Oromio was able to unite the people in West Africa. It was amassing, it started building a force, started building a large army, so that they can go back. And so in one of the history that I read, so I'm just going to run some of the story here, but the real work on this second part is coming later. So he started, the people are saying that he was collecting land, but not just actually collecting land, they were actually taking people. And most people are not ready. They don't really want to join the war. So, but it was like a forced conscription. They were conscripting people by force. So, they moved from Igala, and they moved to Ethiopia. Actually, those are the Igala and the Oromo people. So the Oromia. So the Oromia, which is Oroyan, which is you want to call Oromia. They call Oromia, and then. Even if you check the way the Benin people call Oromia, they don't call it Oromia, they call it Oromia, so like the Arabia people. So, and then Igala, the word Igala, which is Iguala, that is to possess, that is to climb, to enter into our possession, that is take your possession, go back into your possession. So, which is the Igala, which is the name for the ancient name, actually Gilgal, part of the Iguala, that is what they call short to Igala, which is Gala. And they said their war cry then was Igala. Well, those that hear them call them against. They said they are saying Gala. Actually, it means Igunwala, that you possess the land, which is the ancient war cry of Oya Shiriala, even in the time of Oyo Awashua, that is Joshua, that is Igunwala, that is to take where they settle to go and to enter into to possess their possession. So, but they could not really progress far beyond that. Major reason, well, the Ethiopia, their kingdom, of course, Ethiopia kingdom was a very well established kingdom, and we know that Aksum kingdom actually is related to Ethiopia. So, though they were able to establish themselves over there, but from my side, well, I'm still waiting on more information. But on my side, I would think that they could not really come, because those that went for the Igunala, that is which is the Gala, which they call Gala, Igunala, are actually the armies. Oromia himself did not follow them, so he stayed back to maintain, to control the home. So he stayed back to rule over the kingdom and where places where he has already taken back in West Africa, and they were supposed to actually to reinforce those over there from here. They were able to reinforce them. But after the demise of Oromio, there was problem. Actually, while Oromio was alive, it was in order to unite all those kingdoms. It impregnating just in all those places where already most of them, they already have leaders. So he just take their princess and impregnate them. So kind of married wife in all those places, so that will be able to kind of get his grip over them. And till today, it is his bloodline that is ruling in Benin, so like that all around. And he took a Nope woman, but from what information I had, the Nope woman he took was actually a descendant of Shango, and which gave birth to his son, which they call Shango Atayeri. So just like the first Shango that brought in destruction upon West Africa, this new one too, which is the son of Oromio himself, but is connected to Shango, actually started a rebellion that scattered the United Kingdom of Oromio. He scattered the United Kingdom of Oromio, and so it is the West Africa, the new kingdom, the United Kingdom is supposed to be a base from where they carry out attack and take back what was taken away from them, and even go back as far as back to Yemen. But you can see that there is this cause of these people always. There is always going after anytime they want to rise up, something just come up to bring them down, and it's basically because of this idolatry. Because these people, they are so much given to idolatry, and the cause will not leave them. It will not leave them because they don't really turn wholeheartedly back to Uyoiwa, the creator, Uyoiwa, the one who brought existence. So they don't actually, wholeheartedly turn back to him. So the Lord he kept giving them hope, and mostly they still have hatred for Uyo Awashua, which they call Jesus. Uyo Awashua, they say have hatred for him. Uyo Awashua is actually one of them whom God has anointed and God has chosen to stand as a gap, to sacrifice, so that through him others may have salvation. But I don't know why they get that hatred to their own detriment. So and even it is the same Jesus or your Awashua that they call issue in Yoruba history. So every negative thing that was said about issue is actually every negative thing that the Pharisees, all the comment, all the testimonies of the Pharisees about Jesus is what the Yorubas are holding today against, and they're calling him issue. And if you see, they even idolize him, even though they hated him, but his stupidity of idolatry made them to idolize him. And then and one of the things that they used to sacrifice is palm wine. And one of those things that the Pharisees said about Jesus, they said he's a drunkard. They said he's a drunkard. So he always drinks. So you can see the stupidity of idolatry and the negative testimonies of your fathers about him, and then the stupidity of the idolatry they marked together. So they started worshiping demons and said they're worshiping in the name that they call Jesus. So all these causes kept on. So all this rejection of the provision of Uyoiwa kept keeping them down. So all they were being beaten down, they were being destroyed all around. Anytime they want to rise again, they will be pushed down again. Even one of them, from amidst them, they will arise and destroy each other. So you see, so that is actually what has been happening. That's why the kingdom of Oromio could not rise up. So there was now the Atayeri now took over Oyo. Oyo was a kind of was a kingdom founded by Oromio. But the last kingdom he actually found was Oko, which was his last kingdom, the last kingdom and where he ruled from before he died. But immediately the so-called Shango Atayeri took over Oyo. He waged war and he destroyed Oko. And it was actually, he actually wanted to take over all the other places. He wanted to take over Benin, Nupe and everything. But those ones were able to resist So you can see, so I don't know why some people decide to worship anything called Shango, because according to history, anything that is affiliated to Shango is what? Is destruction. Is they are pulling down their glory, pulling down their identity. So it was that is the beginning of the so-called Oyo Empire. Now, all of them were supposed to be one strong, mighty nation. Ibini, Nupe, Oyo, all those people, all of together. Even if you go back to all those, if you go far out to all those Ghana, you see people, even like some of them are still worshiping all these Oromiyan. They still have all their idols, they still have Oromiyan and all those things, worshiping him, even to that in all those areas. So to show that they actually recognize him too. But so all those places were supposed to be united as one mighty nation, as a united state, and be able to resist their enemies. But there's that thing that's always working against them. From amidst them, they destroy each other, and most of the downfall is always associated with Shango, that name Shango. And Shango, even though being Hebrew, but when somebody is set against the creator, Oyoyiwa, there's no way he can prosper. So let's just round it up there. So that's where all the other history, the downfall, and then the spiral, and the Fulani were able to start coming in, and Islam was actually spread to Sokoto, took over in Ilorin, all those places, in all the north, in all the places, in all those Kano. That even Kano, the history said they have an ark, that they have an object that they build as an ark. They have an ark which they build so that they can always remind themselves that they are descendants of Israel. That is Oya Shiriala. And actually their name came out from the work I've been doing on the Torah. The name Kasina came from the work of the Torah. So Kasina, they have the claim. Even before I started, the Lord revealed this work to me and I started working. But this work has confirmed Kasina, has already confirmed Kano. So you see, so all those people, Islam and the Fulani were able, until now, these people are being ruled by the Fulanis. They are being ruled by the Fulanis. And in these modern days, where most people that have ruled others, they are letting people go free. But the Fulanis have not let the Hausa people go free. Fulani is still domineering them. They never allow the Ilorin people to have a first class king, a Yoruba first class king. They did not allow the Kano people to have a Kano king, a Kano indigene to be a king over his own people. So it is Fulani that is ruling all these people. In Katsina, the same thing. In Kaduna, the same thing. So you see. So there's still bondage, there's still servitude that is going on in all those places. And actually, but now the revelation of this work is one thing. That the Lord, we're going to the discovery of the Hebrews in West Africa, their names by their names, where they are. And also that the revelation now confirms that Oyoyiwa himself is ready to what? Is ready to deliver his people, unlike the time of Oromiyan. But this revelation is a confirmation that Oyoyiwa is ready to deliver his people from all captivity, the same way he did in the time of Moses, the way he delivered them from Egypt. So Oyoyiwa is ready to deliver them. That is why that Daniel chapter 12 verse 1, you can see there, you can say he's ready. He wants to deliver them. So their name, there will be trouble, yes, but it is in that trouble that he will deliver them. So now, the trouble now is going to be with those that will not let, that will say it is difficult for them to let the people of God go. Because if they don't freely allow the people of God, the people of Oyoyiwa to go, then they will be destroyed. They will have the same experience that Pharaoh and the Egyptians had. So they are going to experience what Pharaoh and the Egyptians had. So it is now left to who? It is now left to them. Even British has colonized Nigeria and they've let go. So many nations that have colonized other parts of the world, they've let go. So I think it is high time the Fulanis should step back and allow the Kano people, Katsina people, the indigenous to rule themselves. So now, So it is even so awkward that some Fulanis are still presently at this age. They said they want to take over the whole of West Africa, the region war, go to bush and go to forest. Well, you could have succeeded and you could have prospered your claim that your God gave you all this land could have worked. But the revelation of this work at this time is a confirmation that your intention is totally for your destruction. Your intention this time, it is because Oyoiwa has decided to destroy you and is ready to send you back to where you are, even 1000 AD. So this is a summary of I'm running up this history of original black people of West Africa. So this way we'll be running it up. So some other events, some other videos will be coming out. We'll be sending messages to people. We'll be sending messages to people. So now, but this for you, black people of West Africa, this is who you are. You are descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those who are called by that name, but whose name are Abi Are Yamo, and Ise Okueke and Oya Iko Ibi. So you are descendants of those people. So and they are the one called Hebrew of the Bible. They are the Abaori that is called Hebrew in your English Bible or in your Bible that you read. So this is who you are. This is your identity. So you have to take it. All those idolatry all those idols you are worshiping is stupidity. That is the reason why you are cursed. That is why the reason the Fulani has been triumphing over you since ever. So it is time for you to stop, to put an end to all those stupidity and worship alone, worship only Oyo Iwa, the creator of existence, Eneto Oyo Iwa, one that brought existence. All these idols, stupid idols and demons that you have been worshiping, all these water spirits, you have to stop them. It must stop. All this blood sacrifice you are doing, looking for power, it must. And if you are not ready to stop, by the power of the one that created the heaven and the earth, I will help you to stop. I vow, by the name of Oyoiwa, by the strength of Oyoiwa, if he truly created all things, if he is the maker of all things, I, by his power, by his spirit, and by his move, I will help you to stop. It has begun. It is the move of Oyoiwa himself. Elu Ayemo is ready to restore his people. And this restoration shall be by judgment, by the fire of judgment. And it has begun. And it's he that has started it. He will finish it. So thank you very much for everyone who has been following this work so far. I really appreciate you. Thank you for support. Thank you for help. Thank you for everyone that have been given to this work. Thank you. And as this work is progressing, yes, this work is going to have its many phases. One of the phases is what? The total restructuring, the bringing out, the restructuring of the Torah itself into the ancient Hebrew language, which is Yoruba. That is bringing the old Torah. That is one aspect of this work. And then another aspect is what? Reaching out to the descendant of Hebrew, of Jacob in Africa, in everywhere they are, reaching out to them, letting them know their identity, letting them know who they are. Well, there's a place of reaching unto their kings, but there's a place more. It's reaching unto the people themselves, reaching unto the people, reaching to the people, let the people know. Because by the grace of God, most of them are already now, either engaged in Islam or engaged in Christianity, which they already know that these idols are not good. These idols, they are useless. So now, we just need to get those ones already. Let them know this is who you are. We have a confirmation. The Torah itself is your Yoruba language. It's a Yoruba language, and you people too, you speak Yoruba. Is that you are speaking Yoruba language, and then the Nupe people, your language is as the same as Yoruba, so you are the same family with the Yorubas. The Benin people, a lot of your words too are the same as the Yorubas. You are the same with Yoruba. You are not Yoruba. You are not Yoruba. But you and Yoruba are from the same source. You are descendant of Oya Ikoibi. The Gala people, you are not Yoruba. Yes, as you have claimed, you are not Yoruba. But you and those that call themselves Yoruba, you are from the same source. You are descendant of Oya Ikoibi. So this is not about magnifying Yoruba. This is about that you are from the same source. You are descendant of Oya Ikoibi, and this is who you are. So take your identity, accept it, enjoy it, and begin to worship the only one creator, Oyo Iwa, the only one, Oyo Iwa. There is no other Oyo Iwa. Oyo Iwa Shua, that is we call Jesus, is not Oyo Iwa. There is only one Oyo Iwa, the creator, Oyo Iwa. He is one. He is the one that sent Oyo Awashua, whom we call Jesus. And even in the book of John and the revelation of John, he said that Oyo Iwashua is sitting in the bosom, in the throne of Oyo Iwa. So Oyo Iwa is the creator. In him is seated Oyo Awashua. Even we true that believe in him, what? We will sit together in him. So there's only one Oyo Iwa, and let us all worship him as our God and our creator. For only he can restore the house of Oya Shiriala. Only he will restore the throne of Odu Iwade. Now, so what is that? So more other thing is yes, according to the Atoiwairi, which we call Torah, in the last days, the Lord is going to restore Israel, Oya Shiriala, and they're going to be one nation, and the house of Odu Iwade will rule over them. So I was actually meditating on that, looking at the modern stage of life we have today. So the best solution is what? Is to have a United States. That is, most of those places, most of the states, most of the nations that are already, most of the places that are already standing as nations now, that is populated by the Oya Shiriala people. Yes, should just be a state. Like Nigeria will be a state under Oya Shiriala. Ghana will be a state under Oya Shiriala. And all the nations in West Africa, even join with those in America that know who they are, that accept their true identity of being Hebrew. Yes, we come together to form a nation, to form a mighty and a powerful nation, which is what? Which is Oya Shiriala. And each of them, they're going to be a state, like they're going to be a United States of Oya Shiriala. So that is what actually the most important thing and the best way to work things out. So we're going to have having a United States of Oya Shiriala. So you're going to have each of those states is going to have like a governor over it to maintain it. And one of those things this is going to do is also is going to limit the amount of politicians that we have already. Because most of the politicians that we have already in most of the West Africa, not black money, they are very wicked men. They are men that are given to wickedness and greediness. So if numbers of politicians can be reduced, it's actually going to really help. It's going to really help the people. And one thing, the law of Oya Shiriala, the Old Testament law, must be totally put to what? Must be totally put on those states, that the law must be practiced. The Old Testament law must be practiced, and death sentence for anyone that steal the public property. Death sentence immediately. Anyone that steal the public property, death sentence immediately. Again, anyone that steal the public property, death sentence immediately, so that they will not transfer the greediness that they practice in Nigeria, in Ghana, in their official country, in their various countries. They will not be able to bring it into what? Into Oya Shiriala. All these things is very hard for man. But with Oyoiwa, the creator of heaven and earth, everything is what? There's nothing too hard for him. And I know that he, in his glory and in his power, he shall fulfill it. He will bring it to pass in the name of Oyoiwa. Those that hated you desire that you should be split into smaller nations, while they are merging up and they are becoming bigger. So you shall be strong, you shall be mighty, even than they are, by the workings of Oyoiwa. So thank you very much. I really appreciate every one of us that have been following this work. So thank you once again. So if you want to be a partner, you want to support this program, we have this, are you in Nigeria? So you can reach us through Sterling Bank, please. And if you're outside Nigeria, you can reach us here on Ladipo Jejedola, MoneyGram, and Western Union. And also, yeah, there is something, the logo, I actually put the logo of, not this logo, I put the logo of this book here on the clothes, this particular cloth I'm wearing now. So I would like to show us So my tailor did not put it up enough, so, but I'm going to really fold. I'm going to lift it up so that we can see. So I want us to see, so you can see. So I put this logo. This is a scroll, and which is Ito. It is a guide of profitable existence. Ito Iwa Ere. Ito Iwa Ere. So you can see the ancient Hebrew, the way it's written in ancient Hebrew. See the Ito. See it. There's a T, this is the we sound, and this is a house, this is a har, letter har. The T, we, W, we, har. So then written now in the modern language from right to left, Ito Iwa Ere. That is guide of existing in profitability, in goodness. So and under here it is written, we are Ato Iwa Ere. So now the scroll is Ito Iwa Ere, guide of profitable existence. But we that live by the guide of profitable existence, by living in it, we become what? We become guide of profitable existence. Because the scriptures say, we are the book that they are reading. So we, by following the words of Oyoiwa, and by obeying the scripture, and by receiving his Eriwa outcome, which we call the spirit in us, we become guide of profitable existence. We. So that's why we see we. Let's see. We are Ato Iwa Ere. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you for following us. So you can get this cloak, you can get a cloak like this, and find a way to put those things. And if you think that yes, you might want us to be of help to get this the clothes and to get it down here, yes, we're really available. We'll really also be able to really help you. So thank you very much. I decree, I pray, I pray that the blessing of Oyoiwa, Ibu Irekun Oyoiwa, will continue upon you and your household in the name of Oyo Awashua. She Ile Iwa. In the name of the Lord. Bye.